Welcome! In this Sudoku Primer video we're going to solve puzzle 86. It's a diabolical puzzle from Sudoku To Go, volume 104 by Soap Opera Digest. And we're going to do a pseudo-quiz. What that is I'm going to put numbers in, and after I put numbers in I'll explain why I placed that number where I placed it. If I place a number and you want to try and figure it out yourself, just pause the video at that point and you can study it and try and figure it out. And then I'll, after I place the number, I'll explain why that number goes where it goes. So let's just get started. Okay, first of all I'm just going to go through and see if we can find some pretty easy numbers. Okay, I put both those in because they're pretty straightforward. This one, there's a 3 and a 3 there, so that's a 3. And then we've got a 3 and a 3 there and a 3 here, so that's a 3. Okay, we've got a 4 there because there's a 4 here and a 4 here. So that 4 goes there in this box. Okay, at this point we're already starting to run out of numbers to place because it's this is a diabolical and it's fairly tricky. We can't find any numbers that are easy anymore. So at this point we have to start getting a little bit more creative. Okay, I put a 9 there. Now that one's not real obvious. If you want to stop the video and see if you can figure out why I placed that number there, I had to use a combination of techniques in order to find that 9. So stop the video if you'd like to try and figure it out yourself. If not, I'm going to go plow ahead and explain it. First of all, we've got a 9 and a 9 here, so we've got one of these two cells is a 9. And we've got a 9 here and a 9 here, so we have ghost 9s here. So we've got a 9 there, ghost 9's there, so one of these two numbers has to be a 9. And if we use double row elimination here, that covers these two rows for these two boxes for 9's, and we've got the middle box here where a 9 could be either here or here. We've got a 9 there already, so a 9 could be either here or here. But I placed it here, and there's one other thing here, and that is we've got a 3 here, a 3 here, and a 3 here. So one of these is a 3, and a 6 here, and a 6 here, and a 6 here. So one of these is a 6. So we have 3 6 twins right here. And therefore that 9 can't be here, so it goes there. So we had to get a little bit tricky there in order to find that 9. I had to use a combination of about 3 different techniques in order to find that 9. Okay, now that we've found that 9, let's see if we can move ahead. Okay, that 4 is pretty straightforward now. Got a 4 here and a 4 here. Could have had a 4 here or a 4 here, but we know these are 3 6 twins, so we can't put a 4 there. So we knew that 4 goes there. Now I put an 8 there because we got an 8 here and an 8 here. Okay, we got that 2 there because we have a 2 here and we have a 2 here. Even without this 2, we'd know this is a 2 because we've got 3 6 twins here. So that's how we got that 2 there. Okay, we got a 7 there because we have 3 6 twins here. And that leaves a 1 or a 5, 1 and 5 twins here. And in this middle box we're missing 1, 5, and 7. So with this 7 here, that's a 1 or a 5. With the 5 here, that's a 1 or a 7. And that's 1, 5, or 7. But since we have 1, 5 twins here, we know that's a 7. We know these are 1 and 1, 5 twins now. Okay, we were able to place that 9 there because we have a 9 there and a 9 there and a 9 here. So we know that's a 9. Therefore we know that's a 9. Okay, I put those two numbers in because we got a 2 here and a 2 here, so we know that has to be a 2. And if you remember, we had a 9 in one of these two places. So we're able to place that 9, and therefore we could place this 9 also. Okay, how do we get that 8 there? Well, there's a couple of ways to find that 8. We're missing 1, 5, and 8 in this row here before we place that 8 there. We have an 8 here, so that has to be 1, 5. We have an 8 here, so that has to be 1, 5. So that's an 8. Another way we could have found that was, got an 8 here, so one of these is an 8. So one of these is an 8, and we've got an 8 there. Okay. how did we get that 6? This one's a little bit tricky too. Had to use a couple combinations of techniques. Well, we have the 3-6 twins here we know about, and we know that there's a 6 here and a 6 here, so we have ghost 6s here, so that couldn't be a 6, so we know that the 6 goes there. We can fill in the 3 also. Therefore this is a 3 because we've got a 3 here and a 3 here. And we can finish our 3s with that 3 there. We've got a 3 here and a 3 here, 3 here and a 3 here, so that 3 finishes all of our 3s. Okay, we have a 4 here. One of these two has to be a 4 because of this 4, because of this wall here. So we knew one of these had to be a 4, and there's a 4 there already. So therefore we found that 4. Okay, that 8's pretty straightforward. We got an 8 here and an 8 here, so that had to be an 8. Therefore that has to be an 8. Got an 8 here and an 8 here. Okay, we've got those 8's because we've got an 8 here and an 8 here, so we knew that had to be an 8. And 8 here and an 8 here, so that had to be an 8. Okay, we've got a 7 here because one of these is a 7. We've got a 7 there, so that can't be a 7. Even without this 7, we can see that that's a 7 because we've got 7. One of these is a 7. One of these would be a 7, or in this case, one of these is a 7. So we've got double column elimination there for these two boxes, and we've got a 7 there, so we knew this 7. This had to be there, a 7 there, because these two columns are covered already. And that 6 is pretty straightforward. We got, there's the only number missing out of that column. Okay, we had 2 and 5 missing in this box. There's a 5 there. Okay, we had a 4 here and a 4 here, so that had to be a 4. Okay, we have 1 5s left here in this row, So we knew these were 2 and 7. We have a 7 there already, so they go in that order. We could solve those. You had a 4 and a 4 there already, and a 4 here, so that has to be a 4. We know that's a 7 because we have a 7 here already. There's 1 and 5 left there, and there's a 5 here, so we know that had to be a 1. Now we're getting to the point where it's getting pretty easy. We had 1 and 5 left here, we had a 5 there. Here we had a 7, 7, so that was a 7. We also had a 1, 1, so that's a 1. You know that's a 7 because we have a 7 here. And a 1 here because we have a 2, 6 there. These are 1, 2, and 6 missing. And there's a 2 and 6 there. We have a 1 and 5 missing in the middle box. There was a 1 there already. Okay, we just finished the 1s there. We got a 1 here and a 1 here, 1 here and 1 here. So that was a 1. We had a 2 and 6 missing from this row, and there was a 2 there. So we know that's a 6 there. We had a 1 and 5 missing from this box. And there's a 1 there and a 5 there. Had a 2 and 5 missing from that box. There's a 5 there. Two and 5 missing from this row, and there's a 5 there and a 2 there. And we're missing 4 and 7 in this last box to complete here. There's a 4 there, so 4 and 7. Okay. Well, we were able to solve that diabolical puzzle. We had to get kind of creative right at the very beginning. We ran out of easy options pretty quickly until we found this 9, and from there that was kind of the breakthrough we needed. With that 9 there, we were able to find these numbers, the 4, 8, and 2, and that helped us start finding other numbers and helped us complete the puzzle. So as I've said before, on these diabolical puzzles you have to get kind of tricky. You have to get creative and look at multiple techniques in order to find the solution. Well, thanks for watching, and I'll see you again next time.